With your permission, I'd like to show you one more thing here that loosely relates to text, but actually relates to a lot of other fun stuff. It's the 3D effects that come now with Photoshop. Now, Photoshop has had 3D for a while. It's just that in this version, they've kind of gone off the rails with it. In other words, it's really cool. So I'm going to select the WoW layer. It's got the word WoW in it. And I'm going to go to my Type tool, and you'll notice something pop up right here, the word 3D. That would not be there if this were not vector. I can come into Type and go into, say, Rasterize, and it will go away. So what we are dealing with is something that needs to be vector. It could be imported in from something like Adobe Illustrator. It could be designed directly here with the pen tool. It could be text, or it could be one more thing. If you go up to the word 3D, there is a lot of stuff up here. A whole class series could be done just on 3D. But you've got Get More Content right here. Now, if you select that option, basically, and that's what I call a mermaid, basically what you've got here is all kinds of stuff that you can download, and most of this stuff is free. Now, we're going to work with text, but you can work with all of these models, just about anything you want. It is kind of a fun thing to get into. If I could guess at what Adobe might be doing here, I would suspect that they are really thinking about producing an application that's a high-end wireframe modeling program, something like Maya. And as much as I love and work with Maya, I would be interested to see what they could do with this, because I am a big fan of Adobe products. When we click the button, it's going to say to us, hey, you're about to create a 3D layer. Would you like to switch to the 3D workspace? Thank you very much, I would. Now, this is pretty cool how it works. You've got a lot of controls up here. For example, these are rotational controls. I can come in here and begin changing what I see. You will notice you have a layers panel down here, but this is for the 3D, not our typical layer panel. And you can crunch these up. You have an infinite light source. And if you click here, there it is. Click right about here, and you can begin moving it around. So you can see this is a true ray trace program. If we come back over here, we can try different ways to rotate it. And you can see the overhead view here. However, if you do click here, you can change the screen to show what you see here and flip it from this to this. We come back here again, and we can take it back. Over here, you have properties. Like you've got your cast shadow. You've got things like if you want to try a shape preset. Some of these are kind of interesting, actually. Gives you a start. I mean, look at that one. How about that? Actually, that looks kind of neat. Let's go with that for a minute. And come over here again. Let's go ahead and move it over so we can see it. Now, we can add things like texture mapping. We can change the extrusion depth if we want to. We can change the text itself into a different color if we want to do that. We can open up the character panel right here and actually change the font if we don't like the font we're using. So you have a lot of control, and we're just touching on this right now. There's a lot of fun things you can do with this effect, but let's say you're done and you like it. Let's go back into layers right here. Now here it is. If we select that layer and then go up to the word layer up here and tell the computer we're ready here, we want to rasterize that. If we rasterize the layer, it will then come back to us exactly like you saw it. Now again, like I said, 3D has been around in this program for a while, but they've really gone off the rails with it this time. You can have a lot of fun with this effect, and not just on text. On to the next.